Hey everyone, it's Eric Wen. This is another hashtag TakeOneVlog. For those of you who don't know yet, this is a challenge where this is the only recording of this vlog. I have to stick with take one. There's no retakes. And on top of that, it's a one take vlog, meaning that if I pause, if I stammer, any of that, it's all gonna be left in there. This is a one take. This is just an important exercise for me to practice my communication and to make less excuses and be less self-conscious about my mistakes. So today's topic is how to vlog, 5 practical tips for vlogging in public as an introvert, as a self-conscious person, as just someone in general who's scared as heck to do this. And I figured what better way to do that. Vlogging.
You're blogging or logging?
Vlogging.
Oh, can you log? Yep.
Yep. So these are, let's see, 5 practical tips. 5 practical tips for vlogging in public as an introvert, as a self-conscious person, as someone who's just scared in general to do this. So practical tip number 1 would be to try vlogging with a friend.
Hi guys.
One of the areas of like discomfort comes from not wanting to be that guy holding the camera in front of your face, looking like a weirdo, looking like a freak, where no one else understands quite what you're doing. So to ease that friction a little bit, it can help to have someone that you care about, someone that you trust, who knows what you're doing, and yeah, got your back. Thanks, Jed.
I got you.
This is Jed, who I do the podcast with every week. You guys should listen to it.
Other half of the Pitter Patter podcast. Check us out.
The second practical tip would be to think about what you want to say beforehand. Another cause for nervousness comes from not wanting to sound dumb, not wanting to like be rambling or babbling or lose track of what you're saying as much. So if you plan out a little bit what you want to say beforehand, rehearse or maybe outline a little bit, that can make it a lot more comfortable so that you can be more confident in what you're trying to say. The third piece of advice would be to keep the camera rolling a lot more. One of the scariest parts of like vlogging in public is the second that the camera stops, where you look around nervously, like anticipating people looking at you or judging you or, you know, maybe talking about you. So in my mind, if you mess up a sentence or whatever, it's better to just roll with it. Keep talking, keep walking, so that you minimize the amount of times that you have to drop the camera, look around, and maybe get a little freaked out. The fourth piece of advice would be to try vlogging in public with headphones in. This really helped me when I was first starting out. The effect is surprisingly effective, and I think it's threefold. So first off, it comes from the fact that, one, you can't hear yourself as well when you have headphones in, so you end up talking louder and in turn more confidently. The second is you can't hear your surroundings as well, so you end up like you have less inputs and distractions to be hearing people chattering to your side or wondering if they're talking to you. You have less for your brain to latch onto and overthink and get a little nervous about. And the third one is a subconscious one. I think we need to walk by the music. So.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
The third effect is that I think subconsciously it feels more socially acceptable when you do it with headphones in, because we're used to actually people talking to themselves with headphones in, you know, making business calls or Skyping or whatever. So for some reason, when I put in headphones, and I'm talking to myself, when I'm talking to the camera, it feels more like I'm undercover or like people aren't gonna notice me or I have a disguise on, even though in reality, you know, they can still tell what I'm doing. The fifth piece of advice is more a mindset thing, which is that people don't really care as much as you think that they do. In our minds, when, like as a sort of nervous or self-conscious person, you feel like people are gonna see you and then be laughing at you and then Google you and then find you on social media and then like tweet about you and just humiliate you all around, when in reality, they don't really care. If you, like even when you're walking around without a camera, let's brighten it up a little bit. Even when you're walking around without a camera, you're not like locking eyes with a stranger as you walk by them. You know, you maybe smile or drop eye contact, walk a little faster. People like minding their own business. So people are gonna forget about you way quick. Strangers are gonna forget about you way quicker than you think. And just in general, like, you don't want to let strangers have an effect on what you create. And especially since they don't care, you shouldn't care. And also, when you're making stuff like this, when you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, it's good to remember that, like, you have people that you need to reach. You have people that you need to encourage. Think about them. And so while all this stuff is a little scary sometimes, don't let that get in the way of just going for it anyway. I think that's all I've got for today. You are the change maker of your own life. Let's think more deeply. Thanks, Jed, for making this less scary. You guys should check out the Pitter Patter podcast if you haven't already.
It's the best podcast on the internet. You should check it out. It's pretty lit.
I have to plan out what I need to say beforehand. But he's actually a master improv, talk on the spot, say what you mean the first, second, third try.
More or less. Like, man.
Yeah, we talked about that in the last podcast. Anyways, if you guys want to see a playlist of all the hashtag TakeOneVlogs so far, it's right, somewhere over here. And if you want to participate, the rules are down below, and hashtag it so that I can find it. Thanks guys for watching. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. That was easy.
No, that was good, man. Well done.
I don't know how. Did I forget a point or something? When I did this earlier, it was like around 7 minutes.
And that was.
But that was 6:40, and there were people that would just like pause and watch.
I don't know. Maybe you were just more concise.
I was more nervous.
We're still rolling.
Nervous chattering.
Yeah.